Red 2 standing by, all 4 lit, and in the green. Welcome back to Metroid Prime Remastered, where we are venturing through the Chozo ruins on our item cleanup. And guess what? Chozo ghosts. These ones do not respawn. We have our X-ray visor so we can pay attention to where they are. And stick some gunfire into them. Encounter over. So fast. So much better. So much better. Missiles. No, that might have been a power bomb, but we need to activate both of these morph ball switches in order to get out of the room. Alright, so that one activates a puzzle. We've got to be very quick on our morph ball. And if we roll through here, we get an energy tank, which should be all of them that we can get before, as I was trying to say earlier, the anti-penultimate boss. So once we do defeat the anti-penultimate boss, that is when we get the last energy tank. 14 energy tanks in this game, same as Super. But Super actually had the reserve tanks, which have never again appeared in a Metroid game. I think maybe they could appear with Amiibo or something in Samus Returns. I don't know if they're regular pickups or just Amiibo-related pickups. But yeah, there were 4 reserve tanks that appeared in Super Metroid. You didn't need them, but they were very handy along the way. I think they could be refilled by your ship, but that was about it. Because they weren't refilled by recharge stations. You could refill them with energy. But yeah, they weren't refilled. And this one is always a pain in the butt, because if you're not... You have to inch forward. And got it. Now we can make our way back. Which way is faster? Because I know we have to go to the furnace, and we get one last missile expansion there. So we've cleared out pretty much everywhere. It'll be time to go back into the Phazon mines, which is pretty good. We've made really good progress getting the last items. So, on we go, and yeah. So yeah, somewhere in Samus Returns the reserve tanks appeared, but otherwise they haven't been in any other game. You get the most energy tanks of any game in the series in Fusion, but enemies can also hand you your butt on a plate, so you will generally need them. What you do not need is Chozo ghosts, but you can avoid them. A lot of them will just respawn like regular enemies, and they are annoying as all hell. Nobody really needs to keep dealing with them over and over and over again. Oh! Ow. Not so much hours in physical injury, more ow my pride. Gotta be at least one. Or 2. Now, if you want, you can just be pointlessly petty and incinerate the ions. Wow, how did that one burn up? Man, that's some big explosion on the plasma beam. Now, so let's see. Yeah, I don't think you actually get any extra suits in Hunters either. But you do get an array of different weapons, which is pretty neat. And interestingly, they will all get special abilities based on who's using them in multiplayer. Each hunter has a specific weapon. I don't quite remember what they all do, because I haven't really played hunters on account of the fact I don't have 3 hands. Seriously, I have no idea how you're actually meant to control anything in that game. It's really awkward. Like, it just feels so clunky controlling it, but the basics I do remember. You powerbomb this, by the way, and this one has very finicky timing. So, the Magmaul was Spire's weapon, and it got better splash damage when Spire used it. There was the Judicator, which is sort of your Ice Beam analog. There was the Battle Hammer, which was Weevil's weapon, and I'm not sure what that does. There was the Vault Driver, which was Candon's weapon. Silax's Shock Coil was sort of an... I'm not sure. I don't think it was an electric weapon. I'm not sure how you describe it, but it mentions using a neutrino stream or something like that, which scientists will actually tell you is pretty inaccurate, because neutrinos do not work like that, and I don't exactly know how they work myself, because I am not a scientist. Okay, shadow, drop. But yeah, there's the Battle Hammer, the Vault Driver, the Shock Coil, the Judicator, the Magmaul, and the Imperialist. I think each of the hunters is also unique to a specific weapon as well. Like, I think Spire is weak to the Magmaul. Not the Magmaul, the Judicator. And I think Noxus might be weak to the Magmaul. So that's the last thing we need in the Chozo Ruins, as far as I know. Probably time to go back to the Phazon Mines, which means going through here. So yeah, I don't know enough about hunters. Samus can use all of them, but she doesn't have the full special effects of each weapon, on account of not being a master at them, but she's got her own special abilities as well. And each of the characters has an alt form, sort of like the Morph Ball, but not quite. It's sort of a balance in multiplayer. It's like, it's an interesting game. It's pretty well presented, honestly. And it does have some pretty neat music. But it's just so awkward to control, and there's no lock on either. Like, you need one hand to operate one set of buttons, where you need one hand to operate the buttons where you're going, like the plus pad and everything. You need one hand to control all your fire buttons and things like that, and you need another hand to work on the stylus. It would have benefited from being on a bigger console, or just having a better control scheme. Or I just need to get better. That's part of it. That could be part of it, that I do just need to get better at the game. I'd have to play it a lot more, but boy, it looks awkward. It's not a bad idea, but I just think the control scheme, from what little I have experienced of it, is awkward as all get out. Oh well. Like, it's not too bad, and the multiplayer approach is pretty neat. It's time to go back into the phase on mines. Yep. Down into the darkness. And we will have plenty of work to do. We need to find some items along the way, so we're going back through the full slog. That's going to be painful. See, I don't think Hunters had any additional suits. I don't know if... Federation Force had any different suits, and I don't think people want to talk about that one. But having not played it myself, I suppose I can't really pass judgment. Alright, so he's burnt to death, that's good. Where are you, sir? Oh, there you are, right up in my grill and burning to death. It's usually what happens with the plasma beam, somebody burns to death. What? Now, is there one up there? And there he goes. Oh, all the way down there. There was a really good background moment in one of Messiah Nella's streams of this game where a pirate bounced off the rim of something. I think it might have been just the rim of this archway, and made really funny ragdoll movements in the background. So yeah, that's a nice touch that I was trying to remember. Alright, so the turrets have been replaced by shadow pirates. And now, you saw that, didn't you? So you can see very hot things through there. You can see that there are things through here, and it's our old friend Bendesium. Get back, because there is an exploding box. There is also a missile expansion. We are very nearly there. We have just... Wait a minute. What's that? Is that... Right, sir. Oh, it's just a light. But the fact that it shows up like that on the thermal visor, that is great attention to detail. Well done, devs. Alright, so more wave troopers. And one more. Yes. What's been shooting me in the back? Unless... Wait a minute. Don't tell me their shots were bouncing off the security door when they missed and hitting me in the back. That would suck. I don't think they're that smart. Oh, turret. I'm not that smart. So yeah, we'll just have to paste these guys with the ice beam and we can find a few more. We can find one more item along the way too. Should be near here. Are we there? Oh yeah, force of habit, sorry about that. I did say that doesn't work, which really sucks because it did in the GameCube version. Like in the PAL version of the GameCube, you could smash them with missiles. This is more Bandesium. And if we scan this, we can deactivate that force field. You might be wondering what's through there. Well, if we go all the way back through here, then we will actually finally get the flamethrower and find out that it's not that great. Thankfully, we don't have to go through the gauntlet of enemies again. What's this room? Storage Depot A. But we've now got pretty much everything for all our beans. The flamethrower actually becomes a bit better with the dual stick controls because you've got so much more room to wriggle it around. So, if we go to the other, we can get... The flamethrower is the plasma charge combo. Sweep its stream of flame across multiple targets. Flamethrower is most effective against multiple targets in an area. It's still not that fantastic in all fairness. Might give it a shot, see if I can actually get it to work when we deal with some shadow pirates. I hope I'm going the right way. I'll look dumb if I'm not. I think I am. Oh no, wait, this... Right, this is... Just the one? Oh, cool, you can lock onto them when they become visible. Okay. Now. We need to go into this room. And... Bandesium alloy plates. While it is a bad idea, destroy this tank and it becomes a good idea. This mutated menace is... the Phazon Elite. Elite pirate infused with energized Phazon. The Phazon-charged elite pirates rely more on their wave crank generators, opting not to carry the vulnerable plasma artillery cannons normally used by elites. The direct fusing of Phazon into their bodies provides a tremendous level of energy. The drastically lower lifespan that comes with this process is of little concern to the pirate research team. So I'll charge this up and let him wander around for a little bit. Alright, so I'm right in close. I think the cannons are still there. Okay, so it does freeze him in place for a little bit, but it doesn't seem appreciably more powerful than the super missile. But yeah, if you can beat the elite pirates, you can beat this guy because he's just got more health. Oh, there he goes. Just flops over dead and we get an artifact for defeating him. One more to go and you kind of can't get it Unless you actually have a certain pickup. Now, I see that up there. Alright, so that's taken care of those. Probably nearly done for this episode. Oh, there it is. It's right in my face. It obviously can't shoot too far down, which is good. So, normally you'd use the X-ray visor to find the pickup from those from the mining laser up here. But we already got it, so we can move on quickly and efficiently. Deeper into the mines. So now I think we've had a pretty good rundown of most of Samus's kit and what it can do. We've got Metroids in here, don't we? I think we do. Or do they only appear in here later on? It's very fortunate that the puzzle stays where it was the last time you were here. Yeah, so we can go back here and look for... this, which will take us to where we need to go eventually. A nice relaxing room, in all fairness. But there's plenty more danger to go as we traverse deeper into the mines. Because we're going to have to deal with Metroids and Phazon and all sorts of bothers. Yeah. I speak. Okay, so we're going further down. We're so close to finding whatever it is that lurks within that crater, within the heart of the Leviathan impact. The space pirates are close, but they're doing a really terrible job of it. And it would probably backfire on them anyway, because that's what happens with the space pirates. They can never quite get anything right. Okay, and... once again, you can just blow that up and take out the pirates. And they usually leave a bit of loot. Now, there are shadow pirates in here, so... maybe if I move around... that was kind of fun! So I suppose it's not too bad. It's just a little bit limited in its range. It's very much a close-range weapon, but you can get a lot more mileage out of it with the dual-stick setup. I'd still go with the regular plasma beam because it's just... that said, there's an interesting trick that we do get with the flamethrower later on. Still probably better to stick with the charge shot. We still have to go through these guys again. Well, we don't have to fight them in all fairness. Oh well, I fell off. We're getting out of here. Is it... but we do have to fight this guy. who also doesn't have the plasma artillery cannon. So if you beat the Phazon Elite, you can generally beat this guy. Yep, he's dead. Ooh, and he threw up. Not nice. So yeah, that's a nasty surprise, but now, if we get it right before these guys... Alright, screw it. So yeah, if you're clever with the Ice Beam, you can very easily freeze your targets because they wind up being frozen a little bit longer, well, a bit longer when you use the charge shots. And then you can pretty much switch between targets and do whatever you need to do, wipe them out that way. So they're generally the easiest, and it was much better when you could actually shatter them with a missile. Now, we're finally back to where we were long ago, with most of our kit in hand. Beyond this is where we need to go. Thank you very much for joining me. Till next time, this is Red 2, returning to base.